Imagine that you are right in the middle of a profitable trade, but you are nervous because you think price will reverse soon against you. Or you lost a trade immediately after you enter. Another one trying to recover the lost money, or the price is almost hitting your stop loss, and you decide to move it far away hoping and praying for a break-even trade. If those are common scenarios for you, we have several solutions for these problems. AI robot, pattern alerts, non-lag indicator, public courses. Developing a strategy is the easy part in trading, but mental aspect of trading is where most people struggle. Today we'll talk about the high technology behind profitable trading. So if you could subscribe to our community to stick around for the full informations. Trading is often a game of timing the market. The more timing is important to your system, the more important is to avoid pulling the trigger early on a trade. That ability to wait for the right moment, whether to wait for a pullback or a completion of a price pattern, or a confirmation from the indicator, can mean the difference between success or failure in trading. To have a good trade is all about patience. Waiting for the correct setup, waiting for the right entry, waiting for the trade to play out, waiting to exit a trade, and then waiting all over again to enter the next trade. If you can find that you can't wait and keep entering the trade too early, see if you can make some adjustments to your system, such as using price or pattern alerts, and implement a way of keeping yourself away from the charts and those invalid information. Congratulations, don't be worried, you are very lucky here. Our high technique is especially effective for filtering invalid signals. Snail Dao makes you take profits easier and without hassle. Please do remember that trading is all about the waiting game. It is important to associate the game of waiting and the feeling of making money. Apex with REO. This means that when the bright green triangle apex long signal occurs in the green demand zone, the signal is more effective. REO means return to the effective order block. Double signal with pin bar. When a long pin bar apex signal appears, followed by a bright green triangle apex long signal, when the trend is not contrarian, the signal is more effective. Signal with double bottom. In the case of contrarian double signals, we need to judge whether this position is close to the relative bottom, and the auxiliary can be judged by the bottom pattern. And vice versa for double tops. A double bottom occurs, the signal becomes more effective, and if we enter here, our stop loss will not go too far beyond the recent low. Signal with long pin bar. When the signal is a pin bar with a long shadow, first make sure that the trend of the lead and the trend is consistent. Because the upward trend on the left falls below the last upward structure, the trend is downward and is consistent with the direction of the lead, so the signal is more effective. Signal in the oscillating market. In the oscillating market, when the long shadow apex signal appears, as long as it does not fall below the consolidation boundary and occurs in the yellow supply and demand area, which is similar to the green demand area, the signal will be more effective. Apex with REO. This means that when the bright red triangle apex long signal occurs in the red demand zone, the signal is more effective. Signal with double bottom. The double bottom appears and there is a second validation of the green demand zone, the signal becomes more effective. If we enter here, our stop loss will not exceed the recent low too much. Signal with double pin bars. The apex signal for shorting occurs when it just breaks through the upper edge of the consolidation area. If there are double pin bars, the validity of the signal is higher. The longer shadow, the better signal. Signal with deep REO. The signal occurs in the REO area, which means that when the bright green triangle apex long signal occurs in the green supply area, the signal is more effective. If the color of this area is darkened, then the signal is very effective. Signal with deep REO. The signal occurs in the REO area, which means that when the bright red triangle apex short signal occurs in the red supply area, the signal is more effective. If the color of this area is darkened, then the signal is very effective. Signal with 786 to 886. The signal is more effective when it occurs between Fibonacci 786 and 886 of the retracement of a recent trend. What is REO? How is REO generated? Institutions generally sell during the rising process and buy during the falling process, so our REO is looking to the left, the supply area formed by the recent clearly rise to fall extension, or the demand area formed by the recent clearly fall to rise extension. When such areas overlap, the color becomes darker. Signal with synthesizing. The validity of the signal becomes very good when a superposition of various valid objective logics occurs. For example, in the case back to REO, a double signal with pin bar occurred, and it also pulled back to the 786 to 886 range, and there was even a double bottom. Fake action. In some key positions, it is often accompanied by fake actions. After the breakthrough, the exposed stop loss in these places is destroyed, and then the real market is started. We call it a stop loss hunter. Signal with synthesizing. The validity of the signal becomes very good when a superposition of various valid objective logics occurs. For example, in the case back to REO, a double signal with pin bar occurred, and it also pulled back to the 786 to 886 range, and there was even a double bottom. Stop hunter. The sudden surge broke the stop loss of the first large amount of short selling, because it directly broke through the consolidation zone and went up, which was very strong. These signals need to be automatically filtered. No programmed signal is 100% accurate. What we need to do is to amplify the profit-to-loss ratio and use probability to win the game. Signal at tree waves. The signal appears at the tail of the three waves. We believe that the trend is the most important, and the trend is accompanied by the trend. There is a secret that, again and again, one more again, and the third is exhausted. When the signal occurs in the third and exhausted stage at the same time, with the help of other logic, the validity of the signal will become better, which is especially suitable for escaping the top. Signal with breakout point. The signal also becomes more effective when it pulls back to the start point of the breakout zone. Flexible in trading. Keep flexible in trading. Sometimes the signal may be close to the red or green supply and demand zone because of the cycles, and when we switch to larger or smaller cycles, it may be right in the red and green zones of those cycles. Stop hunter. This is a good case of breaking the stop loss. If we look to the left, we can see that there is a parallel support line that is easy to see. It is easy for retail investors to set this line as a stop loss, and the main force is well aware of this way. They always like to run to these areas to eat these liquidity and then start the market. Stop hunter. Another case of breaking the stop loss. In the more intense market, retail investors like to guess the bottom and buy the bottom. At this time, there will be short-term liquidity that stops at the lowest price. Please remember that the main force is always watching. With your chips, the signal to go long occurs, but the real market starts to eat the nearest stop loss. Non-lag signal. When the signal occurred, it happened to be in the dark REO, which was also between 786 and 886 of the callback. There was no lag at all, and the line fell immediately. Snail DAO was established in 2021. It has been committed to relying on advanced blockchain technology to build diversified featured services through programming languages such as Python, C++, Solidity, etc., and intelligently solve the problem of user profitability. The community is currently mainly engaged in the development of advanced strategic trading systems, the output of top-level AI messages, the teaching of public welfare open courses in trading, and the sharing of real trading. Subscribe to our community immediately to stick around for the full informations.